Ooh, Page of Cups reversed, okay. The Sun in reverse, we have Leo there. Justice, Libra, and we have the Three of Swords. Okay. This, on the surface of things, looks like the Divine Feminine is considering reaching out with a message, but is holding back because they're thinking, actually, I want justice. And justice to me feels like me not being the one to put the effort in first, because perhaps the feminine feels with this Three of Swords that they are still in pain, that they are owed some kind of effort or, apology. With that Moon card that I saw as I was shuffling, what I feel though intuitively, it's almost like the feminine is sensing that the masculine is wanting to reach out with a message or an apology, almost to reset the balance here. So I think, I'm going with my intuition, and I actually feel the strongest message is this, that the feminine knows the masculine is hovering around, so to speak, at least energetically, and is wanting to communicate but hasn't yet. The Sun is reversed, but even when the Sun is here, we can, reversed, upright, we can still see much more clearly than, say, if it's night. It might just be a cloudy day if the sun's reversed. So it's almost like we're 99% sure, we just haven't had that visible proof yet, but we know it. We're convinced. We would put a lot of money on this intuitive knowing. So I feel that's what's going on. The feminine is sensing the masculine around, feeling that there's a desire from the masculine to communicate. The feminine is not doing anything to encourage or dissuade this. The feminine, is simply existing and continuing with whatever they're doing at this time. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Well in reverse. So this card talks about connection with the earth, with Gaia, with feeling really like you have abundance, whether it's in the sense of just having the things you need, having creativity, resources, ideas, basically. When this card's upright, it's always interesting because this woman is so concerned with something she's watching, she's not seeing what she's actually stirring up and creating behind her. So definitely distracted. In the reverse, though, do you know what I feel? I feel this person has been observing the divine masculine has been observing the feminine, and has been coming up with all kinds of thoughts and feelings and desires and ideas. Now this card is reversed. It's because they're feeling like it's time to take action, but not really sure exactly which idea is the best, or if the ideas they thought of will actually work. So almost feeling a bit frustrated because it's like I have all these desires and all of these thoughts, and yet none of them seem valid. None of them seem like they are realistic. Interesting that this is coming out when I'm trying to look at the divine feminine. So I do feel right now there's a real overlap of energy here. And again, it could be that the feminine knows this and feels this from the masculine. Okay, what else please for the divine feminine here? We have the Queen of Cups reversed. Wow, Queen of Wands reversed. We have the Six of Pentacles, I see, and the Artist reversed. Okay, it looks to me like the feminine has absolutely no intention here of being the first to initiate contact or to initiate further contact. For some feminines, I'm seeing 100% there is a third-party situation in which there is another feminine involved, and the divine feminine I'm reading for today is saying, I'm not taking a single step forward here in this connection until it's no longer a third party, whether the third party is a romantic karmic, a parent, a friend, whatever it is. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this third party situation, because in the past, look, Six of Pentacles, juggling, giving attention to two people at the same time, it's caused this Three of Swords, and the feminine is still very much carrying this. So the feminine is still experiencing some pain because of the third party situation. Whether it's something they're still looking in the face, I'm hearing, looking in the face at this time, or something where it's almost like the residue or the psychological, the emotional impact of how they were treated in this third party situation, or what the lack of decisiveness from the masculine left the feminine feeling about themselves. Okay, so The other way I can read this is the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Same person, divine feminine, but we've got the very loving, compassionate, patient side, and then we've got the fiery, I'm going out there and making things happen side. Both are reversed. This divine feminine is like, okay, well, you can come towards me, masculine, because I'm going to feed all of this amazing, loving, fiery, exciting energy into myself. I'm not trying to give this to someone anymore who is not wanting to receive it. So if you want some of this, if you want back into my amazing energy, you're going to have to approach me. It's interesting though that we start with the Page of Cups and over here we end with the Artist. Both are about communication. So again, this overlap, a feeling of I know you want to communicate with me, or a feeling of I want to communicate, I'm not sure how, or I want to communicate but I'm just not going to because of justice, because of balance, because of fairness. Okay. So it feels like a divine feminine that's strong, definitely values themselves, which is great, has had to sort of almost maybe at times pick themselves up and boost themselves up within this connection, but no doubt is still carrying and experiencing some pain here. Swords are obviously about the mind, so it could be that the feminine is doing a lot of thinking or bringing up memories or wondering what's going on with the masculine, and those are sort of painful thoughts. So it's not all roses and sunshine, but this is a feminine who's saying, I know what needs to happen here and I'm not going to devalue myself or do anything that I will regret to help out the masculine, or to facilitate or to make it more comfortable for the masculine. And at the same time, I'm not holding back just to prove a point. I'm doing really what I need to be doing right now. Again, justice. Okay. There's also a feeling, the Six of Pentacles is upright, so it could be the masculine has another person, so there are three people. It could even be the feminine has someone, so it could be that there are 3 people involved or 4 people involved, but there's a feeling as well of I cannot reach out, I cannot say things I haven't said. If I could have, I would have, but there are other people involved, so I have to keep a certain amount of distance, or I have to keep certain things to myself. And there's a pain coming from that. It's almost like self-imposed silence, but because again the feminine is saying it's the right thing to do, whatever the reason is, but it's still painful. So I could see that being a storyline as well, or at least an element here for someone. Let me have a look at the Sun in reverse. I know this is not a predictive reading, but what I will say, again, going back to that moon at the start, we have the Sun reversed. I feel there's a transition happening from the things that the feminine knows intuitively, almost as though it's fact, like visible fact in the 3D. I feel whatever those things are, there's a transition where those things are going to come out into the light and to become fact. So yes, it could be that there is going to be some sort of action here taken towards the feminine or communication. This is also a divine feminine who knows the value of their energy, of their loyalty, of their commitment, of their almost support and encouragement of whoever they are being loyal to. This feminine knows the value of all of that, knows they have that to offer. And I think this feminine was trying to give all of this to their divine masculine at one point, but for some reason it wasn't being accepted or it wasn't being reciprocated. So now it's very much like, right, okay, well, if you want back into all of this, then you need to show up properly, justice. Ace of Cups reversed, okay. We have the World in reverse. Yes, it's a feeling of I feel it in my gut. I have not really a friend, but I used to know someone who he writes poetry and songs, and every song he would be singing about his guts, and it's quite funny. Anyway, I feel it in my bones, I feel it in my gut that a new cycle is about to begin. Eight of Swords. Yes, it's like I know it, I feel it, I can't quite see it, and if I start thinking about it, then I start thinking of reasons why maybe it won't happen. Maybe I'm misreading the signs, or maybe this, maybe that. It's something about the Divine Feminine's thoughts are creating pain and confusion at this time, and I think part of the pain is because it's almost their thoughts are working sometimes against their intuition, and when we don't align with our intuition, it's painful for us because we're almost denying a truth that we know, and we're wrestling, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling, wrestling between our inner knowing and our logic, and it's not peaceful. Okay, so again, not an advice reading, but if it was, I might suggest to the Divine Feminine, prioritize your inner knowing, your gut feeling over your logic, and if you're going down a path of thinking that's becoming painful, try and pull yourself out of it, even if you do a seemingly basic exercise like, okay, what are 5 things in this room with me? Just to cut off that train of thought. Okay, so let's have a look, please. Can we have an oracle card for the Divine Feminine at this time? No. Okay, here we go. Tantric Awakening. Okay, before I even get into the message or anything, I'm looking at the heart chakra and the root that are both highlighted here, and the crown. It's purple, which makes you think of third eye, but crown here. So exactly, Divine Feminines, trust what your inner knowing is telling you, trust what you're feeling, because see the root, that's what's going to ground. With the sun reverse, that's what's going to materialize, not what your brain, your mind is logically telling you. Okay, so this is the number 21, so 21, 2, 1 or 3 could be important numbers. You could be seeing things like 2121. Sacred sexuality is tender and delicate, intense yet overwhelming. This rebirthing process will require you to be patient and gentle with yourself. Yes. Okay, so it could even be this new cycle that feels like it's coming in between the masculine and feminine is being triggered by the closure of an old cycle that the feminine is going through. So as I said, funneling in all this self-encouragement, self-support, is that a word? Self-love, all of that into themselves, and being their own biggest cheerleader, and sort of bringing in a new cycle for themselves. And the masculine's picking up on this, and obviously is like, what's going on, what's my feminine doing? So it could be, this new cycle is coming in because the feminine is sort of leading the charge here. Okay, good. But yes, being gentle to yourself for the feminines here. I can see that with these mind cards. Okay, so let me put this back in case it wants to come out for the masculine, and I'm going to clear... No, I won't, because I'm using a different deck anyway, and just in case there are any overlaps, I won't clear these away. I'll just leave them here, but I am going to just pause for a minute, catch my breath, and then come back. Okay, so something I was just thinking about, I was sitting here looking at the cards, having some coffee, and I realised that I didn't say the most obvious thing about this tantric message, especially as I was talking about the self-love, the feminine channeling their confidence, their passion into themselves. I mean, some feminines could definitely be going through a tantric awakening or experiencing their sacred sexuality, or doing something around maybe what's it called? I don't see that the feminine is trying to almost manipulate or channel this energy, but maybe I don't know. I just think, that could be a thing, and I feel it's probably something the feminine is doing for themselves, by themselves, with themselves, in whichever form it's taking. But for some feminines it could be with another person who isn't the masculine, but I think primarily this is all about the energy that the feminine is channeling towards themselves, exploring within themselves, expanding within themselves. Okay, so let's have a look at the Divine Masculine. So the Divine Masculine, please, their thoughts, feelings, experiences of this connection at this time, intentions, anything that wants to come through. I've got to be honest, the second I'm just, shuffling up these cards and that I said, let's get into the Divine Masculine's energy, I just feel like, I don't know why. I don't know if it's feminines watching and thinking, you know, here we go again, or oh, who cares? Or if it's the energy of the masculine that I'm channeling and they're just sort of feeling, I don't know, exhausted. I mean, let's see where we go with this. Wow, okay, so the masculines then. What's going on with this divine masculine, please? Okay, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the King of Swords reverse, so yeah. Definitely impatient to speak, to communicate with an offer. Interesting already, because we know the feminine is picking up on this, but the feminine is assuming it's going to be a message, like a text message or something, but the masculine is trying to come up with something that's tangible, something that's either a gift or some kind of an offer that can ground and move forward. Did I say Knight of Swords reversed? It's the King of Swords reversed. Okay, so that's a real mature energy there. But definitely wanting to speak, to communicate the truth, for sure. Okay, we have the Star reversed, Aquarius. Yeah, that energy I suddenly felt as soon as I tapped into the masculine of like, oh God, you know, that's coming from the masculine. Ace of Swords. Okay, so the divine masculine right now is very much all up in the feminine's energy, because they have something to say. They want to communicate a truth. There could even be some sort of lie or deception in the past that they want to clarify, they want to acknowledge, they want to make things right. But at the same time, with the Star reversed, there's a feeling of sort of hopelessness. Because remember, the Well reversed, it's almost like I have all these thoughts and ideas, but none of them are actually realistic. None of them will actually work. They're all a bit crazy or wild and just not the way people do things in the 3D, you know. It sounds good in my head, but I can't actually do it. Okay, what else? What's going on with the masculine, please? Yes, we have the World reversed. So we did have that card coming out for the feminine as well. So the masculine knows the feminine is going through some kind of transition, or there's definitely a transition happening within the energy of this connection. Something is changing, and there could really be a fear that something's about to wrap up for good, and then they may lose their chance in a physical 3D sense with the feminine. It's also a feeling with the World reversed of wanting to bridge a gap, wanting to close any distance here. And of course, I'm noticing on this world card here, we have a home, we've got a buggy, we've got a family, we have a car as well. So really it's talking about those sort of big things that we can do in life, you know, move, create new humans with other people, invest in large purchases. And it doesn't have to literally be these sort of markers, but it's what they represent, those big life changes and transitions. And the masculine doesn't want the feminine to almost make some of these transitions and move on without them. I'm hearing in my head there might be some feminines who want to actually make a big move, like move to a different country, and the masculine is worried about this, or at least for some reason the masculine has the idea that the feminine might move far away. Let's see. We have the Six of Cups. All this masculine wants is reconnection, reconciliation, but they do not know how to make this happen. We have the Hanged Man, more Pisces energy reversed with the Eight of Swords. Exactly. And that's what's making them feel hopeless. I think they're overthinking it. We have the Hierophant, as I've stopped here, Taurus energy, but one of the reasons could also be those pre-existing commitments. You know, it might be simple enough to come forward and reconnect with the feminine if it was just the masculine and the feminine, but how do I do this when there might be other commitments or other situations in place? Oh, look at this. We have the Empress, the Divine Feminine, and the Two of Cups reversed. Well, there we go. More Taurus energy, Taurus and Libra there. That's coming out underneath the Ace of Swords. Quite clearly, this Divine Masculine wants to talk to the Divine Feminine, who they can see, who they know is their Divine Feminine, and the one for them. And they feel that this is a masculine who, I don't see them having any intention of letting go of the feminine in terms of their thoughts or trying to move on in the 3D. I'm not seeing an energy that's, I was going to say it's not obsessive, it kind of is. Like, this masculine is obsessing in their own head, but it's not that unhealthy, you know, you're driving down the road and there are 2 cars behind you sort of obsessiveness. I said that like it's a common occurrence. I hope not. I hope that's not a common occurrence for anyone. But this is a kind of obsessiveness where it's like, I know who you are to me, and I'm never going to find anybody like you. And even though our connection might not be in the best place right now, I know we still have a connection, and I will not believe otherwise. It's not even a thought that I can possibly entertain that you don't feel this anymore, that you've completely detached and you're not interested. I'm not even going to humor that thought. Right now, I don't even think that's something the masculine is considering, because of where they are, within this connection. They're all about, how can I get back into your energy? How can I get back into your life? How do I speak the truth I want to speak? Let's have a look. What is it they want to say? What do they want to say to the feminine? King of Wands. Okay, I can be your King of Wands I can be the King of Wands to the Queen of Wands that I know you are. This is someone who's very passionate about the Divine Feminine. I'm also noticing all the tools he's got around him, for different things, cleaning, gardening, repairing things. It's like, I can do everything. I can be everything you want. I can do all of the things. And at the same time, I can be confident and attractive and very charming. I can just be everything you want, everything you need. Look, 2 of Cups. We don't need anybody else. Ten of Cups. We could be incredibly happy together. And the Sun. My goodness. Look what the masculine wants to say to the feminine. Oh, the Sun upright. Divine Feminines. The Divine Feminines know. That Sun card reverse, they know. They already know what the masculine's wanting to say and how the masculine's feeling about them right now. We have Leo here again. But yeah, exactly. Wow. So for Divine Feminines watching, trust your intuition. It is correct. And letting your logic make you doubt is only causing pain for you. Gosh, this Divine Masculine wants to say, I can be your everything, and we can be incredibly happy, and we can definitely have a new beginning together. There's something quite ridiculous here, not in what they want to say, but this card always makes me laugh. It looks like she's sort of putting on deodorant or something, and then these people are looking on like, wow, that's amazing. And then in this card, she's putting food in front of him, and the look on his face, it's like he's never eaten before. I mean, his eyes are about to pop out of his head. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I mean, yes, gratitude for something someone is giving you, of course, but this guy, he looks like he's never eaten, and he's in amazement with what he's seeing. So I think the masculine is feeling like if they come forward and try and express all of this, they're going to look foolish, or it's going to sound dramatic or ridiculous or something, and it might not, but it could just be it's not their normal way, or all the ways they think of this in their head is kind of like over the top, like it's some sort of movie or something like that. It just feels a bit overdone in some way. So it could even be that they just want to say to you, look, I'd love a new beginning. I feel like we'd be amazing together and we'd be very happy together. But that's a lot for them, and they would feel almost exposed and silly, even if it's not really silly at all, and it's kind of just like a very calm thing they've said. Let me have a look at this Page of Pentacles. What is it they would like to offer or suggest? I wonder if we can get a sense of that. Also, just to say, the Divine Masculine is looking at the Divine Feminine as being on some kind of a roll right now. Like everything they do is going well, and this Feminine is on track for like the best, most successful, happy life. And maybe they're not seeing certain things behind the scenes, but generally the masculine's opinion of the feminine is I'm hearing you're a winner. Like the feminine, I don't know, is just doing really well right now, or even, but it's not a feeling of like it's a temporary success, because it's the Empress. There's a reason the Empress is successful, because of like self-mastery and experience, and their approach to things. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords. This just popped out. I wasn't even thinking anything. she's cutting off this guy who's in this rose. She's about to cut the stem. So they could fear that the feminine has cut them off for good or will cut them off. This feels like an external energy. I don't know if this could be a third party on the masculine side, and this person is they don't trust this person's spiteful. Look, she's about to theoretically kill this plant with this guy's head on it, and she's smiling while she's doing it. So, and the way this card just popped up, this Queen of Swords just sort of inserted herself. I don't know who that is, but it feels uncomfortable, almost like she wasn't really invited to join the party, but she sort of just turned up. So that could be, the energy of someone that's on the masculine's mind. What's this now? Three of Swords. Okay, yeah, it's about that third party. So for the Divine Feminine, we saw, pain that had been caused around that Six of Pentacles juggling situation. It's very much on the masculine's mind as well. And while I did say, and I do still believe, yes, there could also be a third party on the feminine side as well as the masculines, or maybe on the feminines but not the masculines, I feel the third party that's strongly coming through today is a feminine energy, whether we're talking about a man or a woman. It's a feminine energy that both the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine are concerned about or having to consider, as in, what do I do with this situation here? Right, okay, Page of Pentacles, what's this offer, please? Okay, let's see. Nine of Pentacles reverse. Well, straight up, it could be a commitment. The Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, Justice in reverse, Libra. I think it's a commitment. This is a lot out of nowhere, and maybe there's been no contact, no communication. This Divine Masculine ideally wants to pop up in the feminine's life and say, I can be your person. We could be, happy, amazing together. We can have a new start and move forward, and let's be in a commitment right now. It doesn't matter how much time has passed, let's just get together this exact moment. But there's a feeling, justice reverse. It's like this masculine saying, I know that's not how this has to go. That's not really bringing balance into the situation. I can't do that. That's not going to work. Okay, so let's see. Can we have an oracle card, please, for the Divine Masculine? This King of Wands has given me a bit of a feeling of trickery. It's almost like saying, I can be absolutely everything you could ever want at once. I can be all of those things. I'm not quite convinced, and I'm noticing we don't have an Emperor, but we do have an Empress. So it's definitely a case of the masculine wanting to put their best foot forward, but feeling like almost like they're trying to sell something, like really going in, almost like, here are all the amazing things about me, here are all of the ways we're compatible, here are all of the reasons why if we get together you'll never miss out on anything in life. Like they're really pushing it, they're trying to sell themselves, and it's telling me there's a little bit of fear that they're not quite on the feminine's level, that they've really got to push it, they've really got to sell their good points or the things about themselves that they like, trying to convince, trying to win the feminine over. Okay, so can we have a card for the masculine, please? And the irony is, this King of Wands is a king, so I'm thinking, that's pretty impressive anyway, as it is. So I'm thinking that this masculine might, have a little bit of a negative view of themselves, or their self-esteem could be higher. Okay, let's see. A message for the Divine Masculine, please. Okay, stubborn. Okay, we have two. Sacred Union and we have stubborn. So let's do Sacred Union first. It's the number 43. So 43, 4, 3, 7 could be important. Okay, after the self journey, self healing, and self discovery, the twins or soulmates unite, and that is exactly what this masculine wants right now. In this moment, Spirit will give an offering of time for union. In this card is a form of meditation that is sacred and only understood by higher level souls. And we've got the snakes, which is making me think of the what was it that we got for the feminine? The Kundalini, was it Kundalini? I think so, about the Kundalini energy. So I feel the masculine definitely wants to tap into this with the feminine and join them, and wants this to come together into union in the 3D now. And it's probably, I feel the masculine is trying to be in union with the feminine in the 5D. And I mean, you know, yes, obviously twins are in union in the 5D, but really trying to how can I explain it? Like trying to let the feminine, okay, so the twins in the 5D in union, but it's almost like the divine masculine, even their higher self, is really trying to let the divine feminine's 3D self know, hey, we're in union, we're already in union energetically, so let's get into union in the 3D. So I feel like the masculine's higher self is channeling through to the feminine's higher self, which is channeling down to the feminine's 3D self, and the feminine's like, oh my god, all of these signs, all of these synchronicities, I keep dreaming about this person, or I know this, you know, that my divine masculine's going to reach out. Okay, so stubborn is the number 31, so 314 could also be important. At any time, either twin or soulmate can reach up and accept Spirit's help to bring them together. However, their own stubbornness is getting in the way. Ask your guides to assist you with closing the gap. I just paused because it says ask your guilds. I'm sure it's supposed to be guides. I was just wondering if that's a thing I've not really heard of. Ask your guides to assist you with closing the gap. You may find you are the one sitting down. So it's a message for the masculine, it's a confirmation for the masculine. Yes, take action. I'm not so sure it's about stubbornness, actually, what I'm seeing here, at least in this moment. I think it's about confusion, feeling like every idea they come up with leads to a dead end. And the message here is, you're probably overthinking it. Ask for help, ask for divine inspiration. And I'm noticing how these two people are on different worlds. So there could be a world apart, or they could be a world apart in terms of how they're looking at things. So for example, the masculine feeling like they're gonna look a bit ridiculous and over the top if they say, you know, I feel that we could be so happy and have, you know, everything together, whereas maybe the feminine is like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. It could also be, you know, the world coming out reverse, that fear of distance, maybe, you know, obviously physical, geographical distance, but also, has the feminine cut me off? You know, has the feminine pulled themselves back and you know, decided they're never going to re-engage? That's something that worries the masculine at this time, distance of all kinds. But yeah, I don't think it's stubbornness, unless maybe a stubborn alignment to low vibrational thoughts or to doubt or to fear. But I do feel the masculine is stubbornly believing in this sacred union, manifesting in the 3D. This masculine doesn't just want this energetic connection anymore. They want to be with the feminine in the 3D now. And there's a real feeling of frustration because it's like they know and feel that if I could just get some sort of words out and get something going here, it would all unfold, but I don't know how to make the initial contact, or I don't know initially what to say or how to do this. And it's like such a simple or seemingly simple thing. It's becoming such a dilemma. It's really it's getting on their nerves, and that's underplaying it, you know, underselling it. It's becoming almost like this huge painful frustration for them. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. So thank you for watching. I hope there were some messages in here for you and that it resonated. And I will be back soon. Bye.